Hey folks, I just wanted to quickly invite you to a discussion that we're going to be starting next week. A new public history discussion series, a public history of the Constitution. It's free, it's open, we're just going to host it on Patreon because that's the best space I can figure out to organize some sort of sustained conversation, the materials around it. All you need is this, a copy of the Constitution. A pocket version is perfect. And here's the format. Every Monday I'm going to post a one-pager that frames that week's discussion. You're going to get some optional recommended readings or viewings. No pressure, entirely optional. Then we're going to meet for a YouTube live discussion. Why? Because it's embedded in Patreon. It's easy. And then we'll dig into it together. But this is not law school. Been there, done that. We are not starting with Marbury versus Madison, although we will talk about it. We're starting where public history starts, with story. What is the story of the Constitution you were told? What does it mean to you now? And how did it gain that meaning? Who told that story and shaped it? Was it Schoolhouse Rock? Was it a movie? Was it a civics class? Was it your grandmother? That's where we begin. It's because where the best public history always starts, with stories, your stories. Then we peel back those layers of meaning until we get to bedrock, a shared space that we can all then rebuild from the beginning. And that beginning is with a group of farmers in Massachusetts. Tell me if you've heard this. Disillusioned, overtaxed, unheard of by their representatives. Sound familiar? They tried peaceful petitions. They were ignored. So they resisted. And that's August of 1786, not the spring of 1776. That's the fear that gave us the original Constitution of 1787 and the aggressive effort of the pro-nationalists to shove it through ratification. Not some glorious vision of freedom, but the elite fear of rebellion. So we'll talk about Madison. We'll talk about Hamilton. We'll talk about Edmund Randolph. We'll talk about George Washington. We'll talk about all the boys in the band. We'll talk about the Federalist Papers. But we're not putting any of them on a pedestal. We're centering them. We're putting them back in context. And when you do that, something interesting happens. Their importance shrinks, but your understanding expands. And suddenly, a whole lot about this country, what's happening, what's not happening, starts to make more sense. Or maybe just becomes even more infuriating. I'll look into having counselors on standby. Because the opponents of that Constitution, the old revolutionaries fighting the nationalists in 1787, the radical Republicans in 1867. The story of the 14th Amendment is a wild one. The civil rights activists in 1965 matter every bit as much as the Federalists, and we'll talk about where that term comes from, every bit as much as the Federalists did. They were framers too, and they've always been on the side of shaping the meaning of the Constitution. And that's what we're rebuilding here. Meaning. So, join us. I think there's a link in the bio. In any case, you can find us on Patreon at Revolutionary Truths.